and welcome. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Hello, and welcome. That drum beat always reminds me of a Seinfeld episode. I think when Elaine's roommate is dating Kramer, and she walks in, and these, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Wow. I've had some time off live streaming and I'm back, so welcome. Wow, have things been happening while I've been away? We've had lots of stuff happen. I've done a few recorded videos, but of course there's drama. And of course there's Katie Joy. There's Katie Joy. And Nat's back as well. I disappear and Nat comes back. Wow. So those of you that have been around for a while will know that Nat was filed an affidavit in the Tardy Westbrook Katie Joy matter, and there's been all sorts of things come. I've got a screen recording of her latest video, and for a woman that put in her affidavit that she cannot work a microwave, she's going to tell us how to discover what's real emails and what is spoof. Yes. Hey. Amazing stuff. So we need to start off with some hey cheap glass, hello Cal. We need to start off with some Australian politics, because today a phrase is trending on Twitter, and it's an Australian slang term. The word is buffhead. It is trending. Buffhead. Why is it trending? Hello, Plan to Create. Why is it trending? Well, the opposition leader, Anthony Albanese, referred to Peter Dutton as a buffhead. And I'm about to tell everybody what that means. I will now suspect that right around the world, because we have that, we're going to hear the word buffhead. We're going to make this Australian slang word famous. So let's just see what buffhead means first. Someone's pulled it up. An Australian saying, a buffhead is one who is a little slow or maybe just does silly things. I'm a buffhead. That's why I'm writing this. It's silly. Generally good-natured, the sort of person who drinks and gets drunk. They decide it's a good idea to shout people you barely know drinks. So buffhead. It's like a term of endearment. But like an idiot. So this is what's happened. So this is what happened. This I have to say, I laughed. This clip is also trending all over the internet at the moment. So let's have a look.
Sit down. I'm sure there is. Sit down, Pepe. You sit down. Hang on. I'll sit down. I'm sure there is. Sit down, Pepe. You sit down.
You sit down, buffhead. Now, as that was said in Parliament, Anthony Albanese has parliamentary privilege, so Peter Dutton cannot sue him for defamation. Don't forget, defamation has to be proven to be untrue, and I think most Australians would actually agree that Peter Dutton's a buffhead. I like that. I've watched that about 4 or 5 times. I know, I'm in the high vis. Look, I don't know how long the stream's going to go for, but I thought at least if I got dressed and I'm all ready to go to work, I'm set. So I froze. Hello, Cal. Oh, dear. So, yes. Albanese called Dutton a buffhead. I liked it. Yeah. Oh, dear. So, we're still talking about politics, actually. I was doing timestamps, and I've sort of forgotten to do the timestamps, so Christian Porter he was back. He lost again in court, and I only just found this out because every now and then. But it says Porter versus Dyer. So Christian Porter, Joanne Dyer, actually was a friend of the person that was accused that accused Porter of the R. And when he sued the ABC and Louise Milligan, an ABC journalist, for defamation, the lawyer that he had dealings with Joanne Dyer previously on the same matter. And so Joanne Dyer went to court to get his lawyer taken off the case, which was successful. Now, Chrysanthou was the lawyer and is in fact Brazz's lawyer. It's all linked. But he wanted a notice to produce for the first respondent. So the first respondent is Joanne Dyer. In fact, so he wanted an unredacted copy of an affidavit, and he wanted notes relating to a meeting that was used in preparation of an affidavit that was used in evidence to stop Chrysanthou from acting for him. And he lost that. So he says, in support of this application, first respondent relies on a number of affidavits, the details of which I do not need to refer. And so he goes through here. But I think what's really interesting, so we set aside the notice. I ordered the appellant's notice to produce the first respondent dated 14th of October 2021 be set aside with costs. So not only is he having to pay $500,000 costs because he lost the first round, he now has another lot of costs to pay because he's lost this round. He's going to have to find another blind trust. Thank you, Cal. Lovely. Very, very generous of you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. So, however, there was, we're still talking about Christian Porter. I'm going to get onto some of the other drama later. Christian Porter did not break any rules by keeping donor anonymous, but committee says the rules must be changed. So he was referred to a parliamentary committee to see whether his blind trust was illegal. But they're saying he did nothing wrong, but we've got to change the rules. Doesn't that mean that they're not trying to? If you've got to change the rules on something, it means the rules are wrong, which means former Attorney General Christian Porter did not breach parliamentary rules by not disclosing who helped cover some of the legal fees he incurred during his defamation case against the ABC, a parliamentary committee has concluded. So in September, he updated his register of member interests to show that a blind trust had paid part of the contribution to cover the costs of his lawyers. He refused repeated calls to outline who the donors were, and of course he stepped down. At the time of his resignation, Mr. Porter issued a lengthy statement defending his decision and insisted he'd followed the rules. Ultimately, I decided that if I have to make a choice between revealing who my sources are, my trust, or standing on my job, I will step down. Federal Labor asked the Committee of Privileges and Members' Interests to examine whether Mr. Porter should have provided more details on the money he received. The bipartisan committee concluded he did not breach parliamentary rules, and it was his decision as to whether the extra information was needed. But they concluded that the declaration from the member of Pierce was consistent with his obligations under the resolution of registration of members' interests. However, the committee considers all members should seek to provide the greatest level of transparency in the disclosure of sources and gifts received by them. So they're saying he should have done it. The committee did acknowledge that the current arrangements were inadequate and said it was looking to change the process so that politicians provided more detailed information about gifts and donations. Hello, that's what we were saying. They've begun work on changes we believe are necessary to the requirements of the registers of members' interests in order to ensure the requirements are more comprehensively reflect the intent and integrity of the register. Under the current rules, politicians must declare gifts valued at more than $750 from official sources or a gift worth more than $300 when received from other official sources. So again, they're talking about transparency. You can't say on one hand that it was transparent and then on the other hand say we've got to change the rules, in my opinion. So Christian Porter can't get out of the news. So oh wow. Yeah, the sit-down buffet comment is just doing the rounds. Is doing the rounds all over Twitter at the moment too. So the other thing is, Westpac is currently in court as well. Westpac, the bank. Westpac admits to charging 11,000 dead customers. ASIC sues for widespread breaches. Yes, so Westpac are in trouble because they are charging customers fees who have died. Yes, Buffhead, it was number 7 when I found it, but it's probably trending number 1 at the moment. Yeah. Oops. Hey, chaotic. So it says the ASIC has launched 6 court cases against Westpac for alleged widespread compliance failures that affected thousands of deceased customers. Having admitted to the allegations in all the lawsuits, the bank has agreed to compensate around $80 million. Oh, I got a pinned message. What's that? Oh, that got pinned. Oh, that's a pinned message. Wow, cool. I don't know how you charge a dead customer the Fox, but they managed to do it. $80 million to the estates of its affected customers. In addition to compensation, ASIC is also seeking orders from the federal court for the bank to be fined $113 million. Well, I guess my bank fees are going to go up now. Westpac has agreed to pay these penalties. However, these orders will need to be approved by the court. The bank's list of wrongdoings include charging fees to its dead customers, double charging insurance policies, and failing to adequately disclose fees to financial advice customers. It is unprecedented for ASIC. Cool. Unprecedented for ASIC to file multiple proceedings against the same respondent at the same time. However, they were exceptional circumstances. ASIC had numerous Westpac-related matters under investigation through the course of 2021, and we decided to expedite those matters for consideration by the court at the earliest convenience. The bank that admitted over a decade it had charged in excess of $10 million worth of advice fees to more than 11,000 customers for financial advice, even though they had already died. Another failure was Westpac sending duplicate insurance policies to more than 7,000 customers for the same property at the same time. It resulted in people paying for 2 or more policies. It was also accused of seeking payments for 329 customers for premiums, even though they had not consented to entering into insurance policies. The regulator took issue with the bank subsidiary, BT Funds Management, charging its members insurance premiums that included commission payments. Oh, I'm with BT. I wonder if I'm going to get my money back. That was despite the fact commissions were banned under the feature of financial advice. BT Funds is remediating in excess of $12 million to more than 8,000 affected members who were wrongly charged. Furthermore, ASIC claims that at least 25,000 customers of BT Financial Advice, Magnitude or Securita, Westpac licensees that are no longer operating, were ripped off more than $7 million. This amount relates to contribution fees for financial advice that were not adequately disclosed. The corporate watchdog also accused Westpac of allowing around 21,000 deregistered company bank accounts to remain open. Wow, Westpac, what are you doing? I've got questions. How? An alleged problem was that Westpac continued to charge fees on those accounts and allowed funds to be withdrawn from these accounts. However, those fees should have been transferred to ASIC or the Commonwealth. ASIC also alleges that Westpac sold consumer credit card and flexi loan debt to debt purchasers with the wrong interest rates. These debt on sale rates were higher than what Westpac was contractually allowed to charge, which led to more than 16,000 customers who were likely to be in financial distress being overcharged. All up, ASIC is taking action against Westpac and its following divisions: Advanced Asset Management, Asgard Capital Management, BT Funds Management, BT Funds Management Number 2, BT Portfolio Services, Securito Financial Group, and Magnitude Group. 7 years in financial advice. I can see if you're... It's why I don't work in the industry. Yes. Well, in fact, I'm getting compensation from RoboDebt. I got a letter from Centrelink to say that in February I'll be paid compensation. I don't know what if I disappear from the internet, you know that I hit the jackpot, but I don't think it'll be a lot. The conduct and breaches alleged in these proceedings caused widespread consumer harm and ranged across Westpac's everyday banking, financial advice, superannuation, and insurance businesses. A common aspect of these matters have been poor systems, poor processes, and poor governance, which suggests an overall poor compliance culture within Westpac at the relevant time. Customers are entitled to have trust and confidence in Westpac, being able to deliver on its promises without suffering financial harm. Westpac must urgently improve its systems and culture to ensure these systemic failures do not continue. Actually, I got a letter also about BT Financial Group. Hey, I might have a double win. These issues raised in these matters should not have occurred, and processes, systems, and monitoring should have been better. We are putting things right and unreservedly apologise to our customers. He said the bank has cooperated with ASIC through the investigations and the processes to get the resolution today. So it's an important step as we continue to fix issues. So yeah, there you go. So Westpac's in trouble. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money we're talking about. Yeah, so if I disappear, you know that I got my RoboDebt money and I got my BT Financial Management money, my compensation, and I've fled. I don't know where I'd go. I don't know where I'd disappear to. But anyway. So today, not for bank. Oh. Today we found out the results of an investigation that was started with the Brittany Higgins allegations in Parliament and the culture that occurred in Parliament, again, particularly against women. You have a case of Omicron, don't in Darwin, don't you, Peter? Don't you have the new variant? One case. Anyway, so women in Parliament have been treated very badly, and I cannot think of a person that was more badly treated in Parliament than former Prime Minister Julia Gillard, who was the first female Prime Minister of Australia. The treatment she received was nothing but disgraceful. But she's come out today and made a statement on the back of the report. So she backs the Jenkins review, calls for a politician code of conduct triggered by the Brittany Higgins revelations. So former Prime Minister Julia Gillard, who drew international attention when she condemned sexism and harassment against her during her time as the nation's leader, says it's time for politicians to be placed under a code of conduct. So she's urged for Parliament to support the findings of an investigation from the Sex Discrimination Commissioner into parliamentary workplace launched after former Liberal staffer Brittany Higgins came forward with an allegation of R. Commissioner Kate Jenkins took submissions from people working in government. Did I hear about the barking incident today? No, I haven't. Parliament, government agencies, departments, or electoral offices finding that one third had experienced some form of sexual harassment while at work. Julia Gillard, who faced sexism and abuse from politicians, the media, and the public during her time as Prime Minister, said Parliament could no longer carry on as it once did. It's time to change our federal Parliament together. We need a code of conduct as an effective way of receiving and acting complaints. Her backing of the Code of Conduct highlights just one of the recommendations made by Ms Jenkins to make Parliament a safer place for workers. So if you remember that it was triggered because Ms Higgins made an allegation that she was arred by a colleague at Parliament House. Ms Jenkins thanked Ms Higgins for being the catalyst behind the review and for sharing her story. It was a 7-month-long inquiry and had more than 1,700 people take part. 500 people were interviewed and there were submissions. It covered people from Parliament House, government agencies, departments, electoral offices, staffers, cleaners, caterers to Australian federal police officers. The findings were alarming, and the report contained a number of anonymous accounts of sexual harassment and bullying within the parliamentary offices. Of the people currently working in the Commonwealth parliamentary workplace, 37% have experienced some form of bullying while there. One person interviewed was quoted as saying frequently, like at least every week, the advice was to go and cry in the toilet so no one can see you because that's what it's like up here. How? Really? The inquiry also found 1 in 3 people had experienced some sort of sexual harassment while working there. Aspiring male politicians who thought nothing of, in one case, picking you up, kissing you on the lips, lifting you up, touching you, pats on the bottom, comments about appearance, the usual. The culture allowed it. Well, we know what the prayer room was used for, and it wasn't praying. And don't forget, they put in the bonk ban as well, and that hasn't stopped it. Over half the people have experienced at least one instance of bullying, sexual harassment, actual or attempted SA in a Commonwealth parliamentary workplace. Unsurprisingly, the review indicated people who bullied or sexually harassed those in the workplace were predominantly in a more powerful position than the person experiencing the behaviour. The review also looked at the colossal impact of the conduct, with participants noting their experiences had impacted their mental health, physical health, confidence, and future career prospects. One person told the inquiry about the impact on people they knew. One tried to commit suicide. Another admitted themselves into a mental facility. I know 3 women that have seen psychologists. One had a marriage breakdown. One has completely dislocated with her children, and as a result of a direct influence of a member of Parliament. I will never work in a political office again. It's not worth it. Others said their only option was to tolerate the misconduct or leave. Kate Jenkins said the misuse of power was one of the primary drivers of the bullying. No, I'm going to have to... to some degree, I was shocked at how young workers who perhaps arrived positively. So there were 28 recommendations, and they won a proper... So Morrison said the findings were disturbing. Independent MP Helen Haynes also backed those calls, saying the reports on focus, culture and leadership, as well as structural assistance, were Australian of the Year Grace Tame said the review had revealed Parliament's ecosystem of abuse. Labor seized on the findings, with opposition leader Anthony Albanese using question time to ask the Prime Minister whether he agreed everyone working in this building, including staff, deserved a safer workplace. Yes, Mr. Speaker, of course we do. So apparently change is going to happen, but who knows when that's going to be. So, all right, let me have a look. So what happened to Jackie Lambie? Let me have a look. Just need to give me a few minutes. I know that they've got the Royal Commission. Oh, you retweeted it? Okay, I'll have a look. Is that about the dog noises? Here we go. A misunderstanding. Oh yeah, it's funny that it's the day that the review has come out into bullying and harassment in the workplace. So I just googled it and I came up with this. So it says, I have to say, Karen, Albo calling Dutton a buffhead was great. Growling. Senator denies making noises while Jackie Lambie is talking. So I'm wondering whether this is a bit of the footage. So let's have a look. I haven't seen this. Yeah, the date.
You have the power to turn this around. Why aren't you paying for the social housing we know that we need?
Order. Sarah Vance, Senator Lambie. Are you rising on a point of order, Senator Hanson-Young?
Yes, I am, Mr. President. I don't think it's appropriate, given what has been handed down today, to have growling and dog noises coming from this side of the chamber while a female member in this place is on her feet. It happened. I don't know who is responsible for it, but it is inappropriate. And if we are going to change culture from the top, that means all of us.
Senator Hanson-Young, Senator Wong?
Well, I did, because in fact said there's growling. And I would ask one of the senators at that end, perhaps to do the right thing, and withdraw. At least fess up.
Let's have a listen to it again. I'm going to have a look.
How to turn this around? Why aren't you paying for the social housing we know that we need?
Did you hear it?
Change culture from the top, that means all of us.
Senator Hanson-Young, Senator Wong?
Well, I did, because in fact said there's growling. And I would ask one of the senators at that end, perhaps to do the right thing, and withdraw.
To me, Penny Wong should be the Prime Minister of Australia.
I don't think it's appropriate, given
this is the woman I'd like to be Prime Minister.
At least fess up. Gee, you're tough, aren't you? You have to sit out and have to take responsibility. I mean,
how is that, hey? She's on fire. I really like Penny Wong.
really. Growling, Mr. President.
Senator Wong, I certainly did not
I did.
hear anything. Senator Wong, I'm not challenging what you heard. I certainly did not hear. I cannot ask someone to withdraw something.
Oh, yeah, of course not. Funny that. They didn't hear it. Okay, so a senator accused of growling and making dog noises while Jackie Lambie was speaking in Parliament has apologised for interjecting but denies making any animal noises. So 2 female senators rose to call out the inappropriate behaviour. They claimed it took place in one section of the chamber. It was not immediately clear who was responsible.
You have the power to turn this around.
But Victorian Senator David Van told NCA Newswire he had been interjecting and it may have been misheard. Hello, Just Dom. I have a low voice and I was wearing a mask. Really? Really? I was not growling or making any animal noise. I would never be that disrespectful. Senator Van made an apology speech in the Senate for interjecting. While I do not challenge the while I do not accept the characterization of my interjections in the manner that was raised, I do regret the interjections and I apologise to Senator Lambie and the Senate unreservedly, he said in his speech. I commit myself to holding to higher standards in the future. Green Senator Sarah Hanson-Young, who was visibly outraged, earlier called out what she believed to be was growling, saying it happened. I don't believe it's appropriate, given what's been handed down today, to have growling and dog noises coming from this side of the chamber while a female member in this place is on her feet. So, as we know, Senator Penny Wong, back to the claims, I in fact said, who's growling? So, and she said, at least fess up. Gee, you're tough, aren't you? I mean, growling. So I just think on the day when the bullying and harassment report came down that occurred, I just think it's disgusting. I just think it's very poor. But this, yeah. Senator Lambie pressed on with 2 further questions, firing up about there being thousands of people on the social housing waitlist. So she was bringing up about social housing. My staff keep taking calls who are at their wit's end, and we have to tell them there's nothing we can do. The housing just isn't there. Your government holds the purse strings, Minister. We've seen this through COVID. This is happening on your watch. Why aren't you paying for the social housing? Well, I mean, he was saying he was interjecting, but he wasn't growling. What was the noise then? It was something. Oh, I got 2. Look at the pinned comments. Are they the ones that highlight? Because I know that they highlight after so long. Because all I see is that I've got pinned comments. So yeah, that's pretty awful in my opinion. Alrighty. So we're going to just briefly touch on Katie Jo, and I don't really want to because her Twitter, her Twitter accounts are down, but her Instagram, in my opinion, is disgusting, and that's because the Josh Duggar trial started today, and it's all about Josh. Look. And she's even got statements. She's even got put up a statement that Jim Bob was made to read there, and she was saying that Jim Bob, one of her complaints was Jim Bob couldn't remember what he told police in 2006. Now I want to ask you a question. Can you remember what you did in 2006? I'm not saying that he should. I mean, to me, it was a very significant. The police report would have been a significant moment, but I don't know that I would remember everything. I'm just saying, or what I said. If you said to me, "Can you tell us what you said?" I don't know that I would remember it word for word. She said, he said, this was what she said. Jim Bob was asked by prosecutors to read the police report in court. In court, he said the report did not jog his memory. So, and don't forget that people, okay, cool. Thanks, Cowdick. The thing is that our brains sometimes take away traumatic experiences from our memory. We forget. Sometimes we forget traumatic things. I mean, imagine if every woman remembered what it was like to give birth. They would only ever have one kid. But our body has this when a woman gives birth, we get so caught up in the joy of having this baby, we forget what we went through after a while, and we think about having another one. So, because our body has this amazing ability to remove that from our memory, and so there are some things that happened in my life that were traumatic, that people have said have happened to me, and I don't remember the full story. I have to piece together. Why? Because my brain has forgotten, has pushed it back. So I've forgotten about it in order to protect me. as I said, we wouldn't. No one would ever have another child if they remembered. So I'm not surprised that he may not remember what he said to the police because it was 2006. Hey, I forget what I did yesterday. Actually, I forget because I'm working night shift. I forget what day it is. So, yeah, I can forget what day it is. So I think to be critical of that, I think is stretching it a bit. I mean, there are some traumatic events that you will never forget. Particularly, stuff that keeps you up at night and you need to, there's some stuff that's going to keep you up at night. But, the fact that she keeps bringing up the sister's trauma, we don't know whether the girls have actually moved on to that and been able to come. Part of the therapy is sometimes working so that it goes into that part of the brain where we don't remember it all. So, that's part of what it does. Otherwise, could you imagine? We would not be able to. We would just be sitting in a corner But my long-term memory, yeah. Look, I don't remember a lot. Some of my childhood wasn't pretty. I mean, I had a fairly good one, but there were moments that were very, and I don't remember a lot of it. I don't remember parts of it. I remember some. Well, I had an epidural too. I had 2 epidurals, each one, but yeah. But up until that point, I always said, no, never again. But, and considering my second one was worse than the first. So anyway. You can remember far back. I have some memories. I was 4 when one of my grandfathers died. And I have a memory of going to see him in the hospital when I had to gown up. So I have some memory. I don't remember. It comes and goes. But the stuff I remember is usually really good stuff. I don't remember any of the bad stuff or the traumatic stuff. So, all right. So who's been following all the drama on YouTube? What I will say is I know what's been going on, but I don't agree with going real life. I think once you go real life, you overstep the boundary. Yeah, I'm not a fan of going real life. And I'm seeing a lot of that on YouTube at the moment, a lot of real life. So, oh, you got your brother's keyring. Cool, the fox. Nice. He has to stop selling those, I think, under his terms. I still think it's hilarious that Jordan Shanks, or Friendly Geordies, is now going to be a witness for Google. You've unsubbed from all of them, LER? Yeah, it's horrifying. I think, particularly with a community that was all thing about calling out Katie Joy has sort of turned on itself, and it's really quite sad. Yeah, so I've seen what's going on. I'm watching, but I don't agree with going real life. So, and the other thing is that it's really important also I think there's no point taking sides because both sides are doing things that are wrong. And, yeah. But that's just, it's one, just a voice on the screen of YouTube, won't see my name. Yeah. So I'm not going to be drawn into it, other than to say that going real life is wrong. And we need to reshape our focus, because this stuff, for example, on Katie Joy's Instagram about the case and what the trial is about is disgusting. Actually, let me tell you, I reported one of her Instagram posts today and was told it was not against community violation, and I was mortified. Because she was talking about what Josh did to his sisters in detail, and I found that to be horrifying. How is that not against community guidelines? But it's not. And this is what I don't understand. So I'm going to put a trigger warning on this. So this is one of them. She says, I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to put it on the screen so you can read. This is what we need to be calling out. This is disgusting. Josh Duggar allegedly confessed to touching 4 total girls on their chest and genitals. One girl woke up while he was doing it and punched him. I reported this several weeks ago. Why is she bragging about the fact that she reported about it? She says, I told you a few weeks ago that I felt sick about it when I was learning. This is the tip of the iceberg. You can thank Jim, Bob, and Josh for all of this becoming public. He could have saved his sisters and the victims by taking a plea. It says, Bobby Holt testified that he went to tell Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar about what Josh admitted, and they didn't want to hear it. That literally should tell you everything you ever need to know about Michelle and Jim Bob. When I tell you the SA was longer and worse than they ever acknowledged, is what multiple sources have told me. We don't need to know. Leave it to the court to sort out. It's up to the court now to sort out. And why are you bragging? Why is this something to be bragging about? But see, and then she's got this. This one. The identity of Josh's 5th victim is none of our business. Stop asking who she is. Respect her privacy. Why would you even talk about a 5th victim? Stop asking. Her privacy as a victim must be protected. Why have you even mentioned it? Why do we need to know? You know, I don't get it. And like, she's sitting here and going, see, I told you, my sources have told you this. It's not something I'd be bragging about. The whole thing is horrifying and sad. Let the court do its job and stop talking about it. Sorry, I'm a little bit mad. So let's get on to Nat. So for those of you that are around with the Tuddy West book, Nat was a witness, and anyway, apparently this is the thing. All right, I admit, I got called out on Twitter the other day because I did the whole I stand with Nat. I believed that she was a victim of Katie Joy because I thought a lawyer, right, working with somebody on an affidavit would have done due diligence and she was really a victim. Apparently, we were all fooled. And, you know, but this is the thing. Then we're told she's a liar. And then Katie Joy's saying she's telling the truth. And then Katie Joy's saying she's lying. And then other people are saying that she's made a confession and she's telling the truth. But then on this hand, she's a liar. You can't be telling the truth and the liar. It's funny that if what she says suits a narrative, she's telling the truth. when it doesn't suit a narrative, she's lying. I don't know. I don't know what the truth. I don't know what the truth is. I don't know who's telling the truth. I don't know who's lying. I don't know. But I don't like. I don't like this. Oh, she's saying what I wanted to say, so now she's telling the truth. Because I then go to, well, why couldn't she have been telling the truth before when it wasn't suiting the narrative? This is probably going to get me into lots of trouble. Do you get what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't say that somebody's lying because they're not suiting your narrative, and you can't say that someone's telling the truth because they're not suiting your narrative. Either she's lying or she's telling the truth, and I don't know what one it is. And I heard that she did a phone call where she made a confession, but apparently she did a few days of her affidavit over the phone. I don't know. I do find her timing coming back to be very, very interesting. But the other thing is that the where is it? Somebody sent it to me. This is interesting too. Thank you to everybody that sends me stuff too, because I miss a lot. But this is interesting. You can't wait for the Google case. I can't wait for the Google case either. You know what? Plan to create. I have a feeling that there's a part of me that thinks that there is more to that than meets the eye, but of course I can't prove it. Because to me, the timing is too coincidental. She comes back whenever Katie's in hot water. That's just what I've noticed. Katie's in hot water. And so suddenly, who comes back? Nat. All right, let me show you this. So I know everyone was getting excited about the Chrisley case. Due to an error in processing, the following hearing dates have been cancelled. January 27, 2022, 11:15 a.m. The court will let you know when the new hearing date has been scheduled. Please keep the court informed of any new address and phone number. Dated October 29. Michael Todd Chrisley and Graham Martin. So the case for January has been cancelled due to an error in processing. See, this is the thing planned to create. Her Twitter, she's cancelled her Twitter. After she's saying that Nat is stalking her and trolling her again. As I said, I don't ever believe in coincidences. So I have a feeling there's something's there. But again, I've got no. But well, that's the thing. But what should we believe? Why are some people saying she's now telling the truth when? I don't. As I said, I don't know what the truth is. I just now take everything. I just take everything with a grain of salt now. I think that's the easiest way. But anyway, she does these videos, and apparently her alters delete them because somebody said to her, "Why do your videos disappear?" And she said, "My alters do it." So this was one. I managed to screen record this. So we're going to watch this. Now, in her testimony for the Tully Westbrook case, she said that she was manipulated because she didn't know how to use a microwave. She had no technology or anything like that. This is not working for me. Why is this not working for me? And yet, watch this. I have to say I learned something because I'm fairly okay with technology at times, but I guess for me, I just can't be bothered. But anyway, so let's have a look at this. For those of you that missed it, and I don't usually play the Nat stuff because I don't really like giving airtime. But have a look at this. This is called Nothing Left to Lose.
So all the videos I did was not my idea to do. Like,
Oh, yeah, I had to make sure it was
all the
working.
videos I did was not my idea to do. Like, not things that I wanted to do. I was threatened with making them. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm going to show you facts and evidence today because that's what's important. So I'm going to show you the difference today in a spoofed email and in a real email. And I'm going to go through it.
Now, remember, this is someone that couldn't use a microwave. But she's also saying that she was forced to do it. So that's interesting.
So I'm going to go to my Gmail account first. I'm on my nat2012angel@gmail.com account.
That's a very good question, Karen. But do you know the Senate's only sitting 6 days next year? 6 days. 6. I saw Penny Wong tweet it out. She's ropeable.
I'm taking you back to the 20th of May. See it there. So the first thing is when you receive a spoof email, it will normally come through with a little question mark. When it's in your inbox account, it'll come through with a question mark at the side, as you can see there. When you open it, it can come out with a person's picture. So today we're talking about Clark Swanson. It will come out with this huge report spam, report phishing. Okay. But when you click it, it'll come up with a picture. But when it's actually in your inbox, it won't show a picture. It'll show a question mark. And just to point out what I mean.
So now she's showing what spoofed emails are, and it's interesting to see who some of those spoofed emails are.
I received quite a few of these over the weeks. They all come up with the same question mark.
I just saw something very interesting there. Wait on. I'm going to do this. Wait on.
It'll show a question mark. And just to point out what I mean.
There was one that says Von Paulson. But have a look at this. Look. There's a few rude ones in there. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait on. Where was it? This. Wow. A Von Paulson, see? So she's saying that all of these are spoofed ones. Look at some of the names on there.
Not with the same question mark, regardless of who it is. And then when you click it, it always comes up with this message. So you know that it's not from that person. Okay? Just going to click out of there. So I'm now going to go to my app.
Was she saying that Clark Swanson one was a spoof? Poppy P. And I'm wondering if they're her other sock emails.
Rose2021@gmail.com account. And as you can see, the difference is when you speak to the actual Clark Swanson.
Yeah, look.
There's no.
You are a prominent individual. Finalise. Oh, look at that. This was my biggest. I know, and that's the thing. Look at, well, she's running YouTube and showing what spoofed emails are. In one of them, she will actually show you how you search IPs just on.
One, there's no barrier, there's no message, and when it's in the inbox, it clearly shows his picture. But going one further than that, I'm going to go to my one online. So this is exactly the same.
So now she's showing us
exactly the same. This is my Natalie Rose 2021 Gmail account. The only difference is that it's now.
And she zooms in like a pro. And look, my Mac device was signed in. I thought she didn't have a Mac. I'm just, this to me was really fascinating because, as I said, she couldn't apparently use a microwave and she only had a mobile phone and she had, or something like that.
Dyson 21 Gmail account. The only difference is that it's now. The only difference is.
Look, I will admit, I was suckered in like most people. Most people, as I said, you would. I thought that Salts had vetted her, and that if he had spent time with her, he would not have put an affidavit into court if he did not believe that it was true. That was the only line that I was taking. I'm happy to admit that I was wrong. And that's fine. We're allowed to, I'm admitting that I was wrong, but, I just took it, the fact that Salts had vetted it. So, anyway.
The only difference is this is on, I put it on like a desktop because I want to show you what happens when I click it for like an original message. So let's click on that.
And have a look at some of these dates. Now, I don't know. Look, Friday 19th, and there's something there from Clark Swanson. Where are we? I'm just looking at all the dates here and everything. So she's zoomed in. See, the 18th of November, she was still talking to Clark Swanson. The 19th, thank you for the clarification. I appreciate it. So, join the club, the Fox. It's very confusing. Oh, look. She says, I will upload my conversations with Katie. And yes, you should. So, I can't help but think that, in my opinion, that Katie's behind it somehow. Why is it that she only appears when Katie's in trouble? This is just my opinion. I don't have proof. I'm just trying to make it all make sense. And she screen caps in and out. Oh, this is. You think so, Alia? Look, it's really, really interesting. I heard someone talk about some of the internet drama. She could be behind that as well, planting little bits and pieces around to get them all fighting to take in it. To get everybody fighting so that people forget about her. And I can see that as being plausible as well.
So here we go, that's better. Always clicking things. So, see, same as my Gmail.
Oh, look, police. I'm unsure of my location. I'm unsure of the location anymore. So I'm actually I'm unsure of your actual location. Police. Security alert. Mac device was signed in. Online submission to, who was that to? Crime reporting. See? Crime report. Online form submission. She had something delivered from Amazon. Katie Joy, I did everything I was told. So she's putting some reports somewhere.
See, same as my Gmail, although it doesn't come up with any pictures or
Yeah, so she's done an online form submission for a crime.
desktop, but you can see that it's the same profile, the same type of messages. I'm going to click on this one.
Oh, she said something about baking salts. Hang on.
Desktop, but you can see that it's the same profile, the same type of messages. I'm going to click on this one.
Last night was just the baked salts, and like clockwork, he and KJ bit. What date was that? November the 22nd, 23rd. Look, last night was to bake salts, and like clockwork, he and KJ bit. Wow. As I say, I have no idea whether she's telling the truth or whether she's lying, but I think her doing this is revealing a lot more than what I think she was hoping. I know, oh, yeah. I laughed. I did laugh at the buffhead comment at the start.
I'm going to show my messages for obvious reasons.
She doesn't want to show her messages for obvious reasons, but we've all seen them. I will upload my conversations with Katie.
Show this one.
My apologies, my niece had COVID.
So, first thing.
So she is actually talking to Swanson at the moment. She's talking to Clark Swanson at the moment because remember, he's in a lawsuit with Tardy as well. And isn't Katie Joy, she threw Clark Swanson under the bus. So for those of you that are new to this saga, this is like a huge mess. So Tardy sued KJ for defamation. KJ ended up saying, I did what Clark Swanson told me to do. He gave me the information. Clark Swanson's suing Tardy. Tardy's suing Clark Swanson. It's a mess. Tardy and Swanson were business partners, and somewhere in the middle, Nat's there.
Encryption, come through, time, date. It doesn't come up with the huge yellow warning sign because it's its actual email account. Also,
Even thinking about it cracked me up. There was a girl in the coffee cup. See?
I think show original.
Look, now she's showing how to get headers. She's now showing us how to do headers and get headers. Remember, this is somebody that couldn't work a microwave.
Tells me that the domain it's come from is Gmail. Here. So not a spoof site. So if I go and copy the IP, trace IP. So when I put trace IP, it becomes position being Google. So it tells me that this is.
Yes, Laura, this is Nat. This is Nat. This is the Nat. This is what I'm saying, Laura. I screen recorded this because this blew my mind. This is Nat. The Nat that could not use a microwave.
A Gmail account, it's a Google account, not a spoof account. So that's, you can see that I'm speaking to the real Clark Swanson and not a spoof. Okay.
So she's been talking to the real Clark Swanson and not a spoof to Clark Swanson.
Normally I do the header, but because it's 57 messages long, I'm not going to. But I'll do the header on the other one because it's smaller, but you can see that it's a Gmail account. And this is what has been shown to the authorities.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. This is the NAT.
So now I'm going to go backwards. So click on to on my NAT 2012 Angel account.
Yeah, and she's also talking about her multiple accounts because she's got at least 3 there, Laura.
The same thing. So I'm going to go into Gmail, desktop, and what I've shown before. So
Clark Swanson attempted breaches. Look, it's Instagram. She's got Dropbox. See, then she's got another account. She's got Natalie Rose. She's got Natalie Kennett. She's got
the 2 messages at the bottom. So straight away you can see the difference is it comes up with these little triangles on desktop. It comes up with this huge message saying it can't verify it. So you can literally see the difference.
yeah. She's stealing families online. Oh look, I have to say I've got 6 email accounts. They've all got different purposes though, and I've got there's a work one. The more Nat talks about her, yeah.
Show original.
But my point is, if she's showing this, because she said she wanted to show facts and evidence.
So the original of this one and how you can tell the difference is that the message ID at the top literally says it's from MKey. And the other one said it was from Gmail. Again, take the IP.
Tell you what, she's navigating the computer well.
And it tells me on here it's from MKey.
So here's the thing. I mean, this is probably the most proof that we've seen, but I guess microwaves can be very complicated. Yeah, I heard that too.
So you can clearly see the difference between the 2 accounts.
So
So it's the same one here.
So she's been chatting to Clark Swanson. See, oh, hang on. Last night, what did she say? I will upload my conversation with Katie Joy to Dropbox. That would be great. I'm unsure of your lack of... I did everything I was told. I'm not saying that she's telling that, there's one there about the police. The Chrisley case, that matter has been cancelled. It's been rescheduled due to an administration error.
It tells me that it's a Gmail account as opposed to when I trace this one. It tells me that it's a spoof account from MP spoofing site.
Now again, we've got more. Look, More email addresses.
And then I'm going to show you some of the messages between us.
So they were really short. I didn't get...
Let's see if I can add it on to this. I guess I need to go through them to make sure that I'm not sharing ones that will be used as evidence in court.
Okay, so that was... it's interesting. Apparently, you can make him do whatever you want. Apparently so. I don't know. All right, so this is another one. This one is a minute long. All right, let's have a look at this one.
Okay, here's one of the next ones. You are a prominent individual, finding nice objectives now in plain view. Before the reports I informed you to make, I anticipated it be concluded by now. Upload to the Dropbox when you receive a response. Have you made any progress on the Affliate Links exhibit requested of yet?
It's fallacious. It's fallacious, Nat. The word is fallacious. Oh, I mean, as I said, so she's reading out an email that has allegedly come from Swanson.
Basically, the falsified screenshots attached pages that are inventory in addition to subs and gems. This matter is of the utmost importance, and anything you do to expedite this will go in your favour. With no desire to attend your wake, which is basically a funeral.
I have no desire to attend your wake, Natalie. Let's make sure we keep it that way. What?
No, why most people that use funeral. Let's make sure we keep it that way. Do not concern yourself with salts. It holds no authority in any kind of frightening. Duplicate their personal statements and not future correspondence. Then delete this communication. Alright.
Then she says, I'll upload my reports to the Dropbox in a few minutes, and the convos with Katie 2 and Salts 2. Hope it's okay. Sorry it's taken so long. The remainder will be uploaded this week. And he says, no problem.
May. I'll upload to the Dropbox in a few minutes. Convos with Katie and Salts 2. Sorry it's taken so long.
Then it says here, there's a recording that sounds like Katie Joy, which is 8 seconds long. It says, I sent him those threats, and I also sent him those emails. What is that message about? Do you have the full recording?
Yeah, she can say to me, no problem, thanks. And then about the recording. And again, you can see it's come from his email.
So it's come from his email, as you can see, she says. So there you go. Hey? As I said, I don't know what to make of any of this, but it does make for interesting. It does make for interesting reading, and for me, it's giving me more of an impression that somebody else is behind it. All right, here's another one.
My box. Although the conversations are faultless and will be preserved as evidence in prior review, it reports provide RSC distinct improvement since January. On the right of the recorded results, because.
So this is dated the 28th. This is dated the 28th. That was dated the 28th of November. This is the most recent consult, dated the 28th of November. And then she's not shown it, but there's something there, have you reported salts? So I'm assuming this is Swanson talking to Nat. He's, it is like a Scooby-Doo episode, isn't it? Oh.
What was expected, and then you can see that it's come from him. I'll do these all individually because of the content of some messages I can't show. Alright,
so she didn't show them all because there was only just a few, and then they disappeared. And apparently, someone asked her on her YouTube why does she delete everything, and she said it was one of her alters, and she was hoping her alters would leave it up. So here's the last one that I've got, another one that's 35 seconds. Oh, maybe it's the same one. I don't know. It's very confusing. All right, we'll see what this one is.
No box.
Oh, no, it's the same one, I think.
Although the conversations are faultless and will be preserved as evidence in prior review performed by Gillard, see distinct improvement.
Hey, short order. Yeah, so this is dated 28th of November.
On the right, if you recorded.
Yeah, have you recorded salts? It says the next bit. Look, have you reported salts? I don't know what.
On the right, if you recorded salts, because that's kind of what was expected. And then you can see that it's come from them. I'll do these all individually because of the content
Yeah.
of the messages I can't show.
So there you go. That was the stuff that Nat had filed, Nat put on her page today that have now, I think, they've disappeared. So what do you think? As I said, this is somebody that we were told couldn't work a microwave, didn't have a computer, didn't have anything, and now is showing us how to tell the difference between spoof. Now, I could give the benefit and the doubt and say she could have learnt in that time, but I'm finding it very, very interesting that she's talking to Swanson. Remember, Swanson was talking. Remember, KJ said that she was manipulated by Swanson. And now he's talking to Nat. So why is it that KJ can be manipulated by Swanson but Nat can't? I don't know. I don't know, Kelly. I think she's trying to show her point is that she's saying that she was made to do it, and she's trying to show that she was forced to do it is what she's saying. But I don't understand any of it. How much time are we talking? What about this case going on? Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, March, wasn't it? Oh, it feels like it's been forever. When did Nat came onto the scene during the end of the party case, didn't she? See, here's my thing. It is very confusing. I'm very confused over it. Oh, how long does it take? I don't know how long. Well, if she couldn't use a microwave, I would say it would have to take longer than that. Here's my take on it, and I have no proof of it. What if Clark Swanson's behind the whole thing? He manipulated Katie Joy, and now he's manipulated Salts. Nat, and it's all linked in there, and Katie Joy's linked in there as well. I don't know. It's just, for me, there seems to be two common denominators in all of this: Swanson and Katie Joy. That's all I can work out, because we keep coming round in full circle to Swanson and Katie Joy. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to be on for much longer. I've been on for nearly an hour, and I've got some stuff to do before I have to think about work. So I've got to do some stuff as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was in the lawsuit in January. But then she disappears, and then she comes back. And she comes back when Katie's in trouble. Like, she got the Chrisley lawsuit. And don't forget, Short Order Cook, I believe it's also a diversion. It's all Nat. Swanson KJ has it all to do it. Nat is obviously a vampire, though she doesn't seem to sleep. Hey, Sue. Oh dear, I don't know. I have no idea. I just find that we get the diversion, and that's always used as a diversion. It was the cupcake. Oh, really? She's never left? Okay. Well, because I've shown her videos now, let's see whether whether I start getting stuff. I keep feeling left out because I don't seem to. I just sort of sit on my own little part of the world and minding my own business, and it's like what about me? Yeah, well, I happened to be. I just woken up and I'd seen something about that. So she's probably watching you now. Oh, that's all right. I see you watching me, watching you. Oh, I saw that. Thank you, because I know that you told me that she was probably following me. Yes, I managed to block that one. I don't know. So it's for me. It's just all very. I just find everything so confusing. But I'm easily confused though. Hey, and I'm, as I said, I have empathy and a big heart, so I tend to get sucked into stories often too. So, you know. But I will reiterate, going real life is wrong, and I don't think anybody should be going real life. And I don't even want to, I won't even go real life with Katie Joy. I'll call her out for her stuff, and that's all I do. Because at the end of the day, as soon as you go to real life, you start affecting people's livelihoods. Oops. Where did you all go? You've all disappeared. Oh, there you go. You'll see, that's the thing. Her emails are all yesterday. That's what I picked up. But I was just fascinated with the fact that she suddenly knew how to do all these things that she couldn't do before. For example, use a computer. I found that since the restrictions have eased, I'm really not liking it. I'm very happy in my own little world, sitting in my own little room. Oh. Uh-oh. Look at this. Your documents have been accepted, but the following issues have been identified and need to be corrected. Please respond. This was for KJ. Please file an acknowledgement of service. A service is required under to commence a civil action. Further pursuant to minute, please file a civil cover sheet. Michael Todd Chrisley versus deficiency notice. So that's why it's been delayed. There's a deficiency notice. Your document's been accepted, but it is deficient. So, thank you to the Without a Crystal Ball Reddit team. So, for that information. Oh, well, look, I'm going to be... If she wants to, let her. She can, do whatever. So, all right. Well, on that note, I'm going to love you all and leave you all. Thank you all for joining me. If you're on the replay crew, make sure you say hello, leave a comment. Don't forget that if you want to support the channel, you can either become a member, be a choir member, which is really cool. I've got a little love heart underneath the video where you can give, you can say thank you. You can do that. There's PayPal. There's all sorts of stuff. You don't have to do it. I really just need you to hit like and subscribe, really. That's all I really need of you, but anything else that you do is really grateful. So yes, I'm back. I'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel, and there'll be some more uploads. I'm still working on the Harold Holt official government documents. There's some interesting things in there, actually. Harold Holt was a little bit of a player, it would seem. We've got that to work on, and want to look at some other stuff that I've been working on as well. So I'll catch you all tomorrow, and make sure you look after yourself, and bye for now.